almost sew along time. I am so excited to work on this. I feel like I have been thinking about this and planning for this for so long. But our pattern has been chosen. My fabric arrived. So I wanted to do like a video ahead of the actual sew along to talk to you about the pattern and fabric options that you have, so that you have plenty of time to order the pattern, get the fabric that you want before the actual sew along starts. I talked with the Hemsiders and they voted to decide that they would rather have the sew along appear on the channel every single day of 1 week rather than the same day throughout the month. So instead of like every Saturday in February, it's going to be one solid week in February. I've planned it all out. I have a little schedule graphic I'm going to put up here now, but basically it's February 16th through, the 23rd, I think. So this will fall in between Valentine's Day and the Sew Expo. So if you're participating in Sew Expo, if you're taking any of my classes, this will fall right in between that. So your Sojo should just be in high gear, pedal to the metal by the time Sew Expo rolls around. But if you missed it, the Hemsiders and I chose this Lisette pattern, Butterick 6386. We are going to be making the jacket only. It does come with these cool little matching pants, but we are not making the pants. We're just making the jacket. And it's described as an unlined jacket with shaped yoke and sleeve, has separating zipper, shaped inseam front pockets, elasticized sleeve opening, and drawstrings with stoppers at hood opening and shaped hemline. Wrong side of fabric will show. View A has a contrast hood and sleeves, and below waist pants have front and back yoke with drawstring, yada, yada, yada. We're not making the pants. So all that to say, this is our little line drawing here. So you can do a contrast for the top and bottom of the jacket. That's what they've done here with the blue and the gray. Or you can do it all solid, which that's the version that I'm going to be making, an all solid version. We also have drawstrings in the hood, drawstrings in the hem, I think just in the back. And then this really cool like shaping situation that kind of goes into this raglan sleeve-esque type of thing. It's a really cool, interesting, unique like jacket. This is like a windbreaker. So the fabrics that they suggest are nylon. They also suggest French terry, but I think that that's for the pants. I tried to reach out to the woman who works at McCall's on behalf of Butterick, but I could never get in touch with her. So I don't know where the French terry falls in, but I would not make this jacket out of French terry. I think the jacket in its entirety is supposed to be made from nylon. And when they say that, I think what they really mean is ripstop fabric. Ripstop can be made from nylon, polyester, it's a windbreaker. And most ripstop fabric is water or weather resistant, meaning it's not weatherproof. If it is pouring down rain, the water will get through the fabric. But if it's like a light mist or a drizzle, it'll keep you wet enough to get dry enough to get from A to B. And then it dries really quickly once you get indoors and out of the elements. That's the whole idea of ripstop. I think that like some tents and sleeping bags and stuff like that might be made from ripstop as well, covers for things outdoors, but they do make ripstop fabric intended for garments as well. So before I show you what I got and talk to you about the fabric, let me finish these notions. So we're going to need one separating zipper. Separating means it comes completely apart into two pieces, and we need one that's 22 inches long, so keep that in mind. I also do believe that the zipper is somewhat covered. Can you see how it's covered like kind of like a lapped zipper? Is that what it's called? Where the seam allowances cover the zipper tape. There's not an actual thing over top like you might see in some anoraks. It's not like that. So I would try and get a zipper that is close to the color of your fabric. That will be easier to do the more neutral / basic your fabric is. If you get like a hot pink one, you might have to go to like Waywack or somewhere like that to get a specialized color. But 22-inch separating zippers are pretty common. So you just got to find a color that's close. And then, oh, I'm sorry. And that 22 inches is only for sizes 6, 8, and 10. You actually need 24 inches for 12 to 22, which I think maybe most of us would be in that category. So a 24-inch zipper is actually what we're looking for. Then you need 2 yards of drawstring. And again, this is going through the hood and it comes out here and then it goes through the back of the hem, which is really hard to see on this picture, but it's the front is flat and then the back has the drawstring. The practicality of that, I'm not entirely sure. It cannot just be for looks. There has to be some functionality to it. Why you would only want it around your backside, I don't know. Is that for like a cycling thing? I'm trying to think of like places you'd wear a windbreaker that you would need to only have the back pulled up. Anybody? Leave a comment. Let me know if you have seen this practically applied somewhere. Yeah, I just can't think why else, but it definitely comes out the side seams. It definitely comes out the side seams. You can see here. So it goes through the back and then just out the side seams. So, and drawstring I want to address is a little bit like, more like a cording. I'm probably going to get a cotton one. My fabric is a color that they didn't have a drawstring that matched at Joann. That's the only place that I've shopped, but I think that I'll be able to find it either on Amazon or Waywack or somewhere like that. But you want to look for like a round cording. We're not talking about ribbon. We're not talking about even self fabric. You want like an actual cording because we're going to add these little plastic stops to the end. And that when you pull up your hood and you tighten it, the stops actually keep it, you know, tight. You don't have to tie a knot or anything like that. So you want to get an actual cording for that. And I'll have links in the description box to places where cording is available where I'm going to be checking for mine. Joann only had navy, black and white, maybe like a nude color. I can't remember, but I have a pretty bold fabric, so I wanted mine to match perfectly. And then you also need 1/2 inch elastic, which we should all have on hand. And then, oh no, that's for the pants actually. Yeah, so just 1/2 inch elastic, the drawstring, and the 4 stoppers. The stoppers you can get at Joann. I got clear plastic ones for mine, but they also have black ones, maybe some metal ones. Or wherever you get the drawstring, you should be able to find the stoppers as well. Okay, so that is the pattern and notions. Fit wise, it's going to be pretty loose fitting. We'll talk about how to choose your size in the first video of the sew along, so don't worry about that too much. You just need to decide if you're a size 6 through 14 or 14 through 22. I got the 14 through 22. I picked based on my hip size. So you can see that the hip is kind of close fitting and it stops at your low hip. So you need to make sure to get a size that your hip will fit in. We can adjust for the bust pretty easily once we get our pattern out and we can look at finished garment measurements. But the hip range, 6 to, do they overlap? Yeah, 6 to 14 is 32.5 inch hip to 38 inch hip. So if you have a hip size within those, grab the smaller size range. If you have 38 to 46 inch hip, grab the larger size range. And like I said, we'll talk a lot more about sizing, how to choose your size, how to make some basic alterations if you're grading and things like that in that very first video. Okay, let's get to the good part, the fabric. So I went shopping for fabric at Joann and at fabric.com. I just wanted to go to a place where I knew that you guys could easily get fabric from. We wouldn't have to worry about inventory and all that kind of stuff. Joann did have some online, lots and lots of colors. In person, not so much. I initially did want to do the color blocked situation, but I just could not find 2 colors that I wanted to pair together. Even at fabric.com, I just wasn't feeling any of the color combinations. So I got all one color of this ripstop here. And you can see that this particular ripstop has, well, can you see? Yeah, there you go. It has like a grid to it. Now, I don't know a ton about ripstop, but I know that for the ones that I saw that had for garments, a lot of them had this grid texture to it. I don't know if that technically helps it become more or less water resistant. But this one in the description for suggested uses did say for like outerwear and things like that. This one came in a few different colors. I picked this like deep maroon color because A, I know that it looks really good on my skin tone. B, I think that I look at this color kind of like a neutral. I know that it looks really good with black. It looks really good with navy / denim, like jean color. It looks really good with white, and a lot of the like tops and dresses that I have this color just because I gravitate toward it. So that's why I picked this one, because I thought it would blend in with the rest of my wardrobe, since this is an outerwear piece that you're literally throwing on when it's raining or whenever it's, you know, muggy out. I wanted to make sure that it looked okay with a lot of different things in my wardrobe. So keep that in mind if you want. Of course, if you want to get a bright yellow one, because that's just fun and cute, get that. They did have a really, at fabric.com, they had a really cool camo one that I was like this close to getting, but ultimately I decided to just go simple, go basic, because that's what I was feeling. But if you're wanting, they had a animal print one too, so they have a bunch of different options. Again, I'm going to link them down below, but what you want to look for, if you do not get the exact same one I got, you want something that's a little bit weighty. This is going to be like a stiffer jacket. You can see the model's version here. You know, it's not that drapey. Any wrinkles that you see is because her arms, her limbs are bent. So you want something that is, you know, pretty stiff. It is going to be made from 100% nylon or polyester or something along those lines. If the water repellent quality is important to you, you want to look for that. I don't think you're going to find that at any of like the mainstream fabric stores. You're going to have to go to like a specialty outdoor type of shop for that, which they do exist. You can find them online. You want to go to a place that, you know, has like, they would sell like car upholstery and stuff for tents and sleeping bags and things like that. But if you're just looking for water resistant, you can find plenty of those. You want to find something where the description box says, where the description for the suggested uses says something about garments. If it doesn't, my inclination is to think that it's either too heavyweight or too lightweight. Obviously, I don't know for sure because I have not gone to fabric.com's warehouse and touched all of these. This is just based on my kind of cursory assessment of the research that I did in finding my own fabric. So you're looking for that. The weight I talked about, you know, you can do the color block thing if you want. Just pay attention to the fabric requirements on the back. I think another one of the reasons why I didn't ultimately going the color block way is because it does take more fabric. And the ripstop that I chose is a little bit pricier for something that I deem not essential. If I lived somewhere where I wore a windbreaker like all the time, that might be different. But since I don't, and it's going to be kind of something that, you know, hangs in my closet more often than it doesn't, I didn't want to spend too much on it. So yeah, so you need more fabric because, you know, you're just laying out your pattern pieces and you're not able to make use of all the yardage. You know, that makes sense. But do that if you want to have. I think that the way they did it there with like a really pretty like neutral light color with a coordinating like more rich color or more saturated color, I think was a really smart idea. But just pay attention if you're shopping outside of the exact one that I'm recommending, to make sure that you're getting something that's going to be appropriate for outerwear. This is an unlined jacket too, so just keep that in mind. If it's too lightweight, it's going to end up feeling like a poncho, like one of those ponchos that you get at a sporting event, really plasticky, thin, you know what I mean? And that's not what we're going for. We want a really substantial, nice jacket, something that, you know, you'd find at an REI or wherever. And I think that that's what this is. So yeah, that's it. Check the description box for links to pattern, specialty notion shops that I like, and to the fabric I'm getting at Butterick.com, as well as just their entire ripstop collection. And I think that's it. So join me. Again, I'm gonna put up the schedule one more time. February 16th, we are kicking things off. Unlike some of my sew-alongs in the past, what is it? 5 of the days are gonna be dedicated to sewing. So it's gonna be really broken up into small little sections, because we're doing 7 days, 7 videos instead of 4 like we normally would if we did them every week. So the first video is all about, you know, cutting out your pattern, picking your size, cutting out your fabric, and then days 2 through 6 are all sewing, and then day 7 is like the big reveal, where I show you my finished garment and you hopefully post yours online, tag me, you know, all of that kind of stuff. If you have specific questions about the pattern or the fabric, leave them in the comment section below. DM me on social media. If you're a hem sider, you can reach out to me there. But yeah, leave your questions about the pattern and the fabric. The rest of your questions should be addressed in the sew along, hopefully. That's the goal anyways. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. Happy shopping, and I will see you back here with Butterick 6386 in a couple weeks. Bye, you guys.